when a rice crop is healthy, it has a green color. It's more resistant to diseases, and it grows quick, and it just grows healthy. If it's missing something, it just doesn't look as well, and doesn't perform, doesn't yield. In rice production, the rice plant takes lots of nitrogen. If you don't have the nitrogen there, you will have reduced yields, and the plant just doesn't perform to its maximum ability. That's one reason we use so much nitrogen. However, we have to watch so we don't over-apply nitrogen, or we will have lodging or lots of disease pressure. In our rice operation, we usually plant into a stale seed bed. We'll drill our rice in, and we will apply fertilizer by air and flush it. And we do that 2 or 3 times until the rice is big enough to hold a permanent flood, which is usually about 6 or 8 inches. And then we keep the permanent flood on the rice until it's time to drain for the harvest. Our fertilizer program on rice usually consists of 4 to 5 trips with urea by air, and we'll put out from 180 to 200 units depending on the variety, and that's done throughout the season. We start like at the 3-leaf stage, and we continue on until the PD, which is when the rice starts making the head, or we'll even finish up some at heading for our second crop. We were looking for a way to put out our fertilizer out earlier in the season where we wouldn't have a loss from volatility, or from whenever we flush the rice, or keeping water on it even after we hold a flood. We tried 2 or 3 different forms of nitrogen that worked fair, but we could tell we were losing, part of our nitrogen. And in 2009, we tried a product which was new to us called NutriSphere-N. We had our urea treated with NutriSphere-N. We applied anywhere from 200 to 300 pounds of urea per acre on 2 or 3 different fields. And we would save about half of the field as a check and do it in the conventional way by air, and then compare the difference at the end of the year. Throughout the season, we didn't see any difference in the color of the rice, or it never looked like it was lacking for nitrogen. And when we finished the crop, the yield was the same. What we were trying to do by doing this was to lock in a price for our urea. We were able to do that, and not only that, we saved a flying trip or 2 by air, which is additional expense. And one of the other benefits is if your rice needs nitrogen and it's raining and it's wet, you can't always get an airplane in there to apply the nitrogen. So that was a problem that we'd run into before throughout, a couple of other years, and we were able to solve that problem. To summarize, using the NutriSphere-N on our urea and applying it early saved us money versus the conventional way where we fertilize 4 or 5 times with an airplane. I would definitely recommend NutriSphere in a rice operation. We definitely will be using it next year. It's going to be part of our operation, definitely.